Welcome to Kirks Grocery. In a few minutes, LB, Shane DeLeon, will be speaking about the work of Rossco. That's right. We also have a fly here with us, but LB's working on that. Today's live stream will be about the current show at Kirks. Rossco Toxic Innocence. We've got 3 people watching right now. We're already getting a heart. Rossco Toxic Innocence. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in tonight. Kaylin Roberts is watching. Hello, Kaylin. How are you doing? Toxic Innocence by Rossco. Well, now we're up to 6 people watching. I think we're almost ready to begin this special feature. Kaylin's doing good. She says, hey, y'all. We also say, hey, y'all. We also ask this animal to say, hey, y'all. LB says, hey, y'all. All right, we've got 7 people watching.
That's great.
And let's see. Rossco Toxic Innocence. Shane DeLeon, are you ready to talk about Rossco Toxic Innocence?
I'm ready. Are those people out there in Radio Land ready?
I think we've got 8 people out there in Radio Land who are ready. And let's find Shane DeLeon. Oh, there's Sean Chandler.
Why, hello. Billings, Montana, Yellowstone County, Montana, and the rest of the world. Welcome to Toxic Innocence with Rossco, a local Billings, Montana artist. Lives right up the street. We're here to show that Billings has tons of great art. So join us on our journey through Toxic Innocence, a series of looks, portraits, drawing, why things don't look like things, why other things look like other things.
Some things do look like things.
So this one, obviously, or not so obviously because I didn't wear my Yellowstone Art Museum Summer Fair hat today, is a likeness of me. This was done by Rossco using latex paint, just your average everyday normal house paint. We did a live stream 6 months ago now, last winter, something with Rossco, where he was here and we interviewed him. And, he was talking about how he likes just to use, cheap paint he finds at the store. So most of these are done with just latex house paint. He uses oil pastel, which if you rub it in the right place, you might be able to get some off on your hand. And also pencil. And these are the things I love about Rossco is this pencil work that he's always using. It's scratchy. It's so non-exact, but it leaves the ghost of the portrait sitter right there in front of our eyes. What am I saying? I don't know, but I don't have blue teeth.
Ghost of the portrait sitter. I think it applies so well to this piece because it goes from a pretty representational image of Shane DeLeon.
He did really good. This little round nose here and my teeth. I'm trying to floss more, Rossco. Thanks for pointing that out.
But then the ghostly images as well.
So when Rossco told me, I'm not gonna give you a lot of insight into these paintings tonight. I'm gonna let them speak for themselves. But this right here, Rossco told me, is a portrait of himself. That's how he looks. That's how he feels. Smile pretty, Rossco. You can tell it's him. He's got this little soul patch under his mouth there. So all these paintings by Rossco today are 4 feet by 4 feet. They are $1,000. This piece right here is called Smile Pretty. It's a wonderful piece. I'm pretty honored to have a likeness of myself in some artwork, especially a Rossco, who over the last 2 years we've been working together, year and a half. He has a great knack for grabbing just exemplary pop culture icons, and I'm happy to fit into that pantheon of Rossco American culture gods. So I thank you for that, Rossco. That's how I see myself, and I thank you for seeing me like that as well.
You're the American culture god of Billings.
I'm the mayor, I'm the sheriff, I'm all those things combined into one. Loving the color palette. So one thing we did when we hung this show, there's 12 paintings we're going to look at today by Rossco. He kind of broke them down for us. This wall over here, which is going to be the west wall at Kirks, lot of pinks, a lot of greens. What would you call this color green? Let's do this for Hank Fuller.
You know, it's the color that I would say they often paint on the bottom of swimming pools.
Yeah. Tennis courts.
Yeah. Is it a mint?
It's a mint. It's a mint. So what I was going to do, let's talk about some of the exactitudes of Rossco paintings before we move on to the actual narratives in each, or the stories, or who all the people are. As we've been working with Rossco over the last couple of years, he, as in the first live stream we did with him, we had a painting of his that was done on cardboard that he had nailed to a frame he had built, and had built a frame around that. He's been working with all these different techniques trying to get it down, so he likes to paint 4x4. He's trying to figure out the best way to do that. And what I'm loving is this new style where he just buys a 4x4 canvas. It's just a 4x4 canvas. It's going to cost you about $96 over there at Michael's, unless you go on the time when they have the 70% off sale, and it's going to cost you about $30, $28. And when he's doing with that, I don't know the type of glue. Maybe I think Rossco might be on there live. He might be able to tell us what type of glue he uses, or epoxy or something. And he gets some masonite or some sort of board here. Looks to be about 1/4 of an inch, and he glues that probably with some clamps, maybe some weight. And he glues that to the front of this canvas, because the canvas is supplying the frame. And then he just has this nice lightweight, sturdy. It's not going to bend. Some of his older paintings were getting warped from the water saturation. He can paint with so much water. And he's not putting any more frames around the outside, and he has continued the paintings all the way around the edges, and you can see that he has painted all the edges, and I really like that. It gives it a nice finished look.
And Rossco says he just uses regular wood glue to attach that to the canvas, right on top of the canvas.
And you know, here at Kirks, you know, these are all strung on the back with wire. We do have a delivery system, which we can get these to your house. We'll even hang them for you. We'd love to get them. This one right here is the only one so far that has sold in the show. We are happy to say it is going to San Francisco, where it will join 2 other Rossco paintings, and quite a great collection of art. We have a great collector down there in San Francisco, and she loves Rossco's work. She got in early. She was one of the first people to buy his work, and now she's picking this up, and yeah, there we go. Oh, I just put this up today too. If you want to see this, I got my City of Billings tax receipt.
It's official, everybody.
We're good for another year.
You can do business with Kirks now. Don't be
In
afraid.
good standing.
Oh.
So let's continue down this wall of greens and pinks.
Greens and pinks.
And
There
wonderful
they are.
people. Anyone out there? We're going to let's wait about 15 seconds. Anyone have a guess on who this pop culture, modern era icon is?
I'm going to back it up so people can see.
So this series that Rossco has done here, most of them, maybe about 2 to 3 of them, are not likenesses or representations of real life human beings. We got any guesses out there?
We don't have any guesses, although our audience may not realize that we always have a delay. Oh, it's coming in. I've got Sean Chandler guessing Basquiat. I've got Rossco Martin, Basquiat. And I also have Deb Galentine saying Basquiat.
Deb, back in the mix. Let's sell you another painting. I love this one of Rossco's. You know, obviously Basquiat is a very influential artist in Rossco's handling of his work. The way he moves the paint, the way it lays down, the layers, the scratchiness. What I find interesting about this one of Basquiat himself is it's kind of one of the least Basquiat's styles. These round shapes that he has here, which we'll see in some of his newer work as well. They're really soft. They're abstract. They're not harsh or angular at all, where I think some of his work in the past, besides the color pattern, it's been angular and kind of jagged. These are some really soft forms he's working with. He's modeling, he's shading, you know, kind of giving them a 3D form, like they're bubbles or balls. I really like them. I don't know what they are. If anyone wants to take some cracks, or maybe they're just shapes. Maybe they're just shapes.
We've got Laurel, who loves that there are no frames, no boundary, just like the works themselves.
Yeah.
Basquiat.
And a lot of the things we see in Rossco's work, I love this area right here. All this oil pastel, this scribbling, you know, showing the textures of the skin, and then that pencil work in there, giving us the detail, giving us the edges of the body, the shadows. You know, and we're getting all these crazy blues and greens, and they're just working great. One thing I noticed, you know, so it does say Radiant Child here. RR. I don't know if that's Rossco's Radiant or something there, but I did notice this shape. I don't know if you can see this, and it's totally random, and I hope it looks like a Mickey Mouse head right here. See this little ear. Now I just see that could just be me putting things in there.
Ryan Kramer's loving it.
Oh, great, Ryan, great to see you. I've been wanting Ryan to see this show. I'm glad he's on here today with us.
And there's that Mickey Mouse type shape you were just talking about.
Yeah, and I don't know if it really is Mickey, but I did notice it the other day. You know, I sit in here all day.
Rossco says the RR stands for René Ricard.
Oh.
I'm not familiar with René Ricard. Am I saying that right? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe Rossco can drop a little message of who René Ricard is if he wants.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that reference.
Once again, I love his pencil work. It's just so...
Here in the face?
Puts it over the top. Well, yeah, I was looking at this little eye, and, you know, it's good stuff.
Juliet loves how the layers of paint create a rough texture.
Yeah.
And they definitely do. See if you can see that in the hair.
I mean, the great things about Rossco's paintings is up close. Like a lot of artwork, it's just abstract art. You know, just color and shape and texture, but you step back and, you know, he puts these anchors of portraiture in there. I know he's kind of like myself in the way when I draw people, I'm not exactly going for, you know, that perfect likeness. I'm trying to capture them, but you can always tell who these people are. It's amazing to me. He always makes them gaunt, very thin. Thanks for joining us, Juliet.
Yeah, we've got 20 folks with us right now.
Great. We really appreciate you checking in with Kirks Grocery, coming to our live streams, coming to our events all summer. Winter's coming. We're wondering all the things we'll be doing this winter. We've been buying live stream gear, so we'll have better techniques. We're thinking about starting a talk show, so that might be fun. Let's go down here. This one's called Remember Michael Stewart. And as many can see, this is...
Oh, having a little bit of a wild gimbal.
gimbal,
Wild
turn
gimbal.
gimbal.
There we go. Wild gimbal's coming back.
Did you catch this gimbal in the wild?
Actually, yeah.
Training it?
This
Trying to-
gimbal had been a domestic gimbal for a while, and then it escaped. And here at Kirks Grocery, we are teaching it our ways.
So this, Remember Michael Stewart, another Rossco painting, Billings, Montana artist. It's commentary on modern society, something that's been going on since the United States started. Before that, it's probably been going on through the history of mankind. Here we have Michael Stewart, a graffiti artist. He was out spray painting. I'm not sure of the exact story, but I'm sure if right now you opened up another window on your computer, you typed in Michael Stewart, police brutality, you could get the full story.
About how long ago was that?
I don't know. Maybe a decade? I'm going to have Rossco answer that.
Well, look, we've got some things right here. We've got Drew Crawford, who says, probably my favorite exhibit I've seen in town yet. Great job, Rossco. And then Rossco, the artist himself, says, Rene Ricard, famous poet, wrote an article for Art Forum entitled Radiant Child.
About Basquiat.
That helped launch Basquiat to fame. So that's that reference over here in this piece. And then we've got Caleb saying, thanks for making art available to us. And that can really go to both Shane and Rossco right now.
Is that Caleb?
Christensen.
Oh, great. This piece is, for how beautiful it is, it's real sad, it's things we're talking about, it's, I don't even know what to say about it. To be honest, we all have been seeing daily what's been happening to our country as it gets torn apart through a history of racism, systematic racism, the inability of people to identify that and change with the times, to not even change with the times, to just see everybody as human, And the great thing about art is, we don't know what Rossco is saying with this. We can make our own conclusions based on our own perceptions and our own opinions, but art doesn't, it doesn't tell us all the answers to what the art is saying, and I love that. And this hand is great. Now that I saw you down there, look at the thickness of this paint, over and over.
Rossco says Michael Stewart was killed by the police around 1985.
Wow, that is going back.
Something I think is interesting is that it relates to the themes of today, but you mentioned how Rossco includes pop culture icons, and
One thing
Dick Tracy's in here too.
Yeah. One thing I've learned, from Rossco, from talking to him in our many conversations we've had, is he is really influenced by New York culture of the 60s, maybe even the 50s, 70s, 80s, early hip hop, early graffiti, music, Blondie, Iggy Pop, the Ramones, CBGBs, the whole culture that sprang up with punk rock, no wave, New York, just the freedom that happened in those art times was really inspiring to Rossco. And he has, filtered that through his own painting exercises and experiments, and really just, I've been working with Rossco for, I guess, almost 2 years, and I just really feel every time he brings in a batch of painting, he ups his game. We're going to see some paintings mainly from this year. About 9 of these paintings are from this year, and the rest of the paintings are maybe just a few years old, and you can tell the difference. He's constantly striving. When he comes in, he kind of tells me his new ideas. I know he has some plans possibly to work on paper and not so big in the future. And there's that Rossco's son. One of the things that he is, he's into branding. He, wants people to know who he is. He's not an artist out there hiding behind anonymity. He's using that in-your-face hip-hop, in-your-face New York attitude. He wants you to know his name's Rossco, as if you couldn't tell by his very unique and exacting painting style. And you know what's great about this painting? Let's say, you're a wage slave. Maybe you lost your job and you can't afford a $1,000 original painting. Rossco had the foresight, was smart enough, was kind enough to know that a lot of people out there love art and they want to support them. So Rossco went out and we had a bunch of cups made up for 4 of these different paintings. We're going to show you. So this is a cup. It's $15 if you come to Kirks, $22 if you buy it at kirksgrocery.com. And it's a good representation. We had it printed right here at Graphic Impressions or Graphic Imprints.
Speaking of staying in the area, we're getting some shout outs from Wyoming.
Nice.
We've got Kelsey who's watching from Wyoming. Thanks for making this a live event. And then we've got Laurel who's watching from Casper. Great to know there are like minds here in Billings.
Oh, great, yeah.
And then Juliet says the figures are so skeletal, which is a very cool signature of Rossco's work as well on this painting.
You know, and one thing we'll talk about it when we get to Spare Change, which is going to be the next painting. Usually it's just the top half of the body, a lot of torsos, a lot of busts. Let's talk about
collarbone. I feel like Rossco's in love with the collarbone in so many pieces.
I don't know. I don't know if you're out there and you're feeling sexy tonight. Maybe take a picture of your collarbone and send it to Rossco. You know, maybe get that in a future painting.
Shane,
but I want to finish up real quick on this cup. So we got the cup on the front.
Hold on, we're coming over to you. There we go. Okay.
We got these 4 designs. I'll show you if you got the eye. On the back it says Rossco.
Yes.
Drink your coffee, drink your wine, whatever. It's beautiful. $15 kirksgrocery.com. $22 you can get them mailed right to your door. And we'll talk about each cup separately. We don't need to talk about them on that show. I'm going to have a quick drink here.
All right.
And let's head into the Fireside Gallery.
While we head near the Fireside, Shane, have you always been local to Billings, Montana?
Have I always been what?
Local to Billings?
I haven't always been local. I grew up here, up at Deaconess. I think I was born at Deaconess, which is now Billings Clinic. You know, I did the old regular, you know, hipster route of Burlington grade school and Will James Junior High Rustlers and the Golden Bears. And then I left at the age of 17 for 30 years. And now I'm back. So, I mean, I'm kind of local, but, you know.
And you are the mayor and the sheriff and the king of Billings.
Okay, I appreciate the heads up on that, Mary. We are going to now look at Captain Comb-Over. Now, this is just wonderful. This is kind of reaching back. You can see, if you've been knowing Rossco's paintings, this is going back to 2019, so only a year. So in a year, I feel he's kind of went from, not that this one is chaotic, but some of his work can be so full of imagery, so full of layers, so dense with colors, so many scribbles. I would say his newer work has really loosened up, letting us have larger color fields, you know, more focus on a single character, where this kind of reaches back into, obviously, old comic books, where you might on the back page, you know, be able to get your x-ray specs to see through clothing, which we all want to do as young children, or your spy camera, talking teeth. These are all, if you used to read comic books, like on the back page, things you could order. Now, one thing I learned from this painting, and I guessed, is over here where it says 10 cents, issue 1, September 52. I took the guess, and that is when Rossco was born. So though we don't know much about the man, we don't know his height, we don't know his eye color, we do know the year he was born now. So hopefully one day we'll get to see what he looks like, this Rossco character. We like to call him the Banksy of Billings.
Oh, you're getting a lot of hearts and love for the Banksy of Billings.
Oh, one thing I love about this painting, and we can't skip this, is the arms on this character on the right, who we're going to imagine is Captain Comb-Over. Is it kind of looks like a comb, you know? His arms come down, and it looks like an old comb. Can you see that, Mary?
Yeah, I'm navigating around a table here, but I think we can all see.
Appreciate Mary Serbe for always coming out. We got a gimbal here that's not as intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting it though.
Let's step back and see this whole thing.
So once again, this is latex paint, oil pastels, and pencil on board. I love this piece. All you people out there with $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket, this is a tight one. This one would fit great in your family room, in your kids' room.
Maybe you've got a hair salon here in Billings or barber shop, Captain Comb-Over.
Wow.
Would be absolutely perfect.
You know, bishops, get a hold of us. Ring us up.
Rebels, razors.
Rebels and razors. We can hook you up with some comb-overs. And always the colors. Just these, you know, using that latex paint, I think, just really gets them some unique colors. This kind of tangy, I don't even know. It's light orange with some sort of dirty rose pink over it.
Well, and I think Rossco told us once that he'll get those colors at the hardware store that people decided against.
Yeah.
That they decided, oh, should I make my entryway this color? Nope. Making a change.
And I love, you know, here's some obscuring words, which looks like it said Captain Comb over at some point, but it didn't. So we are here at Kirks Grocery. We are open to the public Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 9 p.m. Some of the things we've been doing all summer, we've been doing vegan roofs with vegan dinners on our rooftop with Chef Joff Plug. And we have some spaces open this Thursday. If you want to have some great 4-course meal, we're doing that here at Kirks Grocery too. It's coming into the winter. We don't know what we're going to be doing, if we'll be doing meals on the roof, but keep up with Kirks at kirksgrocery.com first and foremost, where you can always buy artwork, T-shirts, cups, prints. You can find out about the calendar that's coming up, upcoming exhibits. So you can go to kirksgrocery.com, instagram.com. Kirks Grocery is somewhere you can see every day or every couple days. I'm at least posting a picture of our artwork telling you what's happening that day. Tomorrow night we have an event outside in the street. It's called Mixtapes with God Complex, where a local high schooler will come down here and be DJing with cassettes. So that's happening. You got something else to say?
No, we've got another clue as to Rossco's identity. His eyes are blue. And Rossco lets us know there's a lot of layering in his work.
And especially in spare change. Now, this one, real reminiscent of some older style Rosscos. This is from 2018.
Why don't you pull that chair over and I'll stand on it.
Okay.
Put it right there. All right, here we go. There we go.
So this piece is called Spare Change. It's $1,000. And this is another piece that we do have coffee cups for. And we also have T-shirts of this one as well. It's been a pretty popular T-shirt. We've sold quite a few. The T-shirts are $28. If you come into Kirks, and they are $36 postage paid, you can get those at kirksgrocery.com. And what I love about this piece, a little different than the other ones we have in here, it still has some collaging techniques. He's got some, this looks maybe like The Thing down here. So maybe some, what is that, The Fantastic
We do have a slight diversion asking how do you get to the vegan rooftop meals? Just call and reserve?
Probably the easiest way is to send me an email at kirksgrocery@gmail.com, or you can also just Venmo or PayPal at Kirks Grocery, kirksgrocery@gmail.com. And any way you can get a hold of me, Instagram message, you can just Facebook message me. I check all those different styles of communication, and I can get back to you. This week is a vaguely Hungarian meal. It's going to be wonderful.
And we've got a reminder from Rossco that there are posters, which we're going to show you all very soon.
That is
of
next.
Rossco's work.
Roscoe was jumping the gun. That's our next thing we're going to talk about after I show this awesome spare change. And yeah, we were talking about.
So let's see the piece.
Let's look at this frame first, because I love this.
Here's the whole thing, and then I'm going to slowly come in on what you're talking about.
Tape around it, like he's put tape down, and then he's, outlined it and just made this frame. This is an older style before he was just putting the board onto the canvases and, you know, kind of playing around with layers, bringing the outside inside. I forget, there was a comment earlier that, you know, no frame lets it go boundless.
Yeah.
And even when he does have a frame, it still reaches outside of the painting. This piece right here, you can see this line. And then it just comes here, comes across the frame, actually wraps around the back.
Let's see, everybody. There it is, wrapping right around.
So yeah, here we go, the spare change cup.
Oh, let's see that cup for a second. Bring it a little closer to you so it's not so dark for us.
Here, I'm gonna come over here.
Ooh, there's an arm. There's the mug. It's a little washed out in this light, but you can see
And
that.
then once again, it's Rossco on the back. Have your own cup of joe with Rossco in the morning.
That's right. Cup of Rossco.
Oh, one thing we were going to talk about is most of these, all of these, except this one, show no legs. So we didn't actually know if Rossco could draw legs. This is something that's been really hot on the message boards out there, if Rossco knows how to draw legs. And we can see here by looking at spare change that he will occasionally drop a few legs in and some feet to let you know that yes, with deft technique.
The deft handling of the buttock is pretty nice.
He cubed this out. Kind of got a little Cubist Picasso on the genitalia area.
Very thin calf.
Gaunt to someone. Yeah, very.
Just like we were talking about the collarbones earlier.
I love this person's hair too. It's kind of like Keith Carradine. Was that his name? Keith? Was that the...
Keith Carradine, I think, is an actor.
Yeah, he was the guy like the Kung
Oh,
Fu.
yeah.
Remember his hair? Wasn't Keith Carradine's hair kind of like that?
Keith Carradine himself may not feel that way, but I see what you mean, yes. There's a lot of really interesting teeth and colors of teeth in Rossco's work.
Hey, All the Politics. Hello from your anonymous friend. Always appreciating what All the Politics has to say on Facebook. Yeah, I don't actually know if we've met. Maybe we have briefly, but hi, anonymous friend.
Anonymity makes it a little, you know.
Yeah, and All the Politics is like anonymous. It's our Billings Anonymous. Woo!
Ooh, I didn't know we had
Always
Billings
sharing
Anonymous.
good content about the state of our world. So yeah, as Rossco had mentioned, another thing we did, we haven't even gotten to the T-shirts yet. So all you people there that are excited for the T-shirt part of this segment, we'll get there. But right now we're going to talk about our prints. So all of these...
Let me back up and you can start holding up prints.
Okay. All of these works are available, as we said, $1,000 each, and they are 48 by 48, 4 feet by 4 feet. Let's say, you know, you don't have a ton of money, but you want some of this great art. We have sold quite a few prints.
And you know, the shirts and mugs turned out so well. They did an amazing job on the printing, is what Drew Crawford says. How do the prints look?
Well, the prints look great. Here's our one of Adventures of Captain Comeover. We're selling these for $30 each.
Let's just remind everybody. Adventures of Captain Comeover original.
Hey, Drew, thanks again for coming out last week. Thanks for hanging out tonight.
Adventures of Captain Comeover print.
Yeah, so these are 2 feet by 2 feet, so a 50% reduction, and they're only $30. And we have them for every single one of these items. They're printed by a great printer right here in town. Copyright. We like to do things local. That's how we do our art. That's how we do our printing. Ooh, this one turned out real nice. This is Super Andy, which we're going to get to in a bit.
Yeah, well,
But you know, artists are out here. We're still making our stuff. Even through COVID, we need your help. Kirks needs your love. Please get online, purchase stuff, come down, send us donations, Venmo at Kirks Grocery. We've done pretty good through COVID thanks to some kind benefactors, great patrons, and just our weekly amount of regulars who show up and just throw money in the tip jar. But every dollar helps, and we're really trying to plan for the winter. We're really trying to think about what we're going to do, maybe some TV shows, more interviews, definitely focusing on art. definitely focusing on Montana art that steps outside the boundaries of what we consider contemporary Western art. And this right here, super unique among Rossco paintings. So unique it leaves me with questions. It's an abstract. Right, Mary? Is that what we call this? Is this abstract art?
I think you definitely... I feel like the line between representational art and abstract art is always not as bold as you might think it is. So I don't know. I see a lot of the hooves of horses, the nostrils of comic book mice. I see a lot of things like that.
I always see...
It's sort of poppy to me.
But you want to know what it's called. Let's see if we can pull some thoughts out of what it's called.
I mean,
it's called Campbell's Primordial. So the Campbell's is going to what? Refer to... Soup.
Which could refer to our... also refer to our friend, Gimbal. Why won't you let me refer to our friend Andy?
I think it's a direct line of Rossco's artwork, always referencing something in pop culture, or not always, but mainly referencing these important moments of pop culture. And I know Andy Warhol is highly revered, not just among Rossco, not just among myself, but another great artist in town, John Lodge, super influenced by Andy Warhol. Really changed about how we saw the world around us, everyday objects. What is art? Why is this art? Why is that art? Why is a Campbell's soup can art? Well, it is because I said it's art. Or I didn't, but Andy did.
Yeah.
And this piece is really unique. It's light, it's fluffy, it's effervescent, it's like bubbles coming up in a soda can. It's I don't know, let's say you're out there and you're about to have a baby. I think this is a perfect baby's room painting.
Well, and Caleb just asked cell division. Oh.
Yes, cell
so
division.
It conjures up cell division for Caleb. So many of these doubles. Are they splitting off?
And I love, once again, we get this Rossco signature. Every painting always has the sun, the name Rossco. Sometimes they'll have a little hashtag under it. But he's a really unique artist in Billings, I feel, is that he's super trying to brand himself by his name, one name. I mean, Madonna, Prince, Rossco, Sting. I mean, look at the company he keeps.
It's true.
Once again, I do want to give a shout out to how we met Rossco. Bob Durden was the curator at the art museum, and he had opened his gallery. And I had asked Bob, who painted large in town, and he sent Rossco my way. And pretty quickly after that, a few months, Rossco came in. I took a couple paintings here at Kirks. We sold a few paintings. I think we're moving up to have sold about 10 of his paintings now, which is pretty good. As we said, all these new paintings are $1,000. If you are a big Rossco fan, and you don't want to pick up just a t-shirt or a cup or one of these prints, we do have some older paintings by Rossco still available for around a $400 price point. So if you love some of these, we have just as great a work, maybe not in the same technique on where they might be a little bit warped or just older, different. We're trying to move art out of here. It's what we do.
This is a primordial soup where all life came from. Campbell's, perfect. It's from Laurel, and Linda Lemire thanks us for bringing art to Billings and her home.
Yes, Linda. We love Linda Lemire.
Caleb says, is the sun going down or is it going up? That's a good question when we look at Rossco. Does he show us the setting sun or the rising sun? Only Rossco knows. Perhaps, unless he told someone else.
All right, you want to move along?
Yeah, let's move along. Let's see if our friend the Gimbal, come on,
We're
my
about
friend.
halfway through this tour. Thanks for sticking with us this long here at Kirks Grocery. Don't forget about us down here on Minnesota Avenue. Minnesota Avenue is pumping. We recently heard that the Burger Dive is moving a block away from us. We're surrounded by thrift stores, homeless people, all sorts of great things that make America great.
Come on, and back. And up.
And here we have
Here we are.
High Times for St. Bukowski. And we're going to try to stay. This is a weirdly lit one. Let me turn the light down a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah. Martha Fuller says, I miss you people. We miss you too, Martha.
And this is, we've had, this he dropped off earlier. This was here before the entire show was up. This is obviously the thinnest Charles Bukowski you've ever seen. You know, after a very hard day at the horse races and dealing with some hooker and beating on his machine, his typewriter.
Saying rough words to women and creating poetry.
Just an amazing drawing. The pencil work on this is phenomenal. And this is more, you know, this is his getting to be his newer work where we're just seeing these large color fields, large spaces of colors and a few drips, not so chaotic, more controlled, more focus on one feature. This one's great. You know, I know we got some people out there who love smoking cigarettes. It's one of the things people love about Rossco's paintings. I've heard multiple people who are smokers always express adoration for the fact that he puts cigarettes in people's hands.
That he hasn't sanitized the cigarettes from the icons. Got a skate park shout out. Uh-oh. Our own gimbal shadow is trying to get in on this, but we'll control it. Rossco.
What's it say? Rossco hashtag what the hell?
What the hell?
While you're there, why don't you turn this way?
Oh, maybe I will.
Why don't we show one of these shirts we
Oh,
have?
Shane, you look all cuddled up with fashion. There we go.
This is one of our t-shirt racks here at Kirks Grocery, full of all sorts of t-shirts. We're going to show you one of Rossco's right now. As we talked about earlier, here's Spare Change.
Why don't you stand right in front of Spare Change?
It's great. Printed over there right here in Billings by Jasper, local photographer. He's a printer here in town, helps out. They did a wonderful job on these prints. We stand by their work. They guarantee their work. We did have a little issue with some, and they followed right up. We do all these t-shirts on white shirts and on black shirts. There's 4 different designs, Spare Change being one. I'll show you some more in a bit. Available at kirksgrocery.com. Oh yeah, look at this awesome one. There's only 4 of these in this color.
Yeah.
So if this is $20 and a large.
This town can only hold 4 of these shirts. Can you hold it on your body?
What about this sweatshirt?
Oh.
Ooh, Kirks Grocery. These are not on the website. These are very small run. We do have the white and black ones of these on the website, but let's say you want the color pink with this awesome Renee Audette, Keith Martinez mashup.
Yeah, you see everybody with the black, the white, but there are those people who have those limited edition lime and pink Kirks hoodies, Kirks shirts.
Let's continue. We have
Where are we going?
4
Hold
more.
on. How many?
4 more. Like the sides of a painting. The top, the bottom, the east, the west.
Like the luckiest clover.
The luckiest clover that's ever lived. Here's another painting we do have a cup of. This one's called Giants.
A cup of giants with a giant. Let it sink in, everyone.
Yeah. Rossco on the back. So, for me, I'm going to tell you right now, Rossco collectors. I know some of you out there, you have 4, 5, 6 Rosscos in your homes. You got them in the bathroom. You got them in your living room. You got them all over the place. But were you thinking about the future? Were you thinking about investing? This next one we're going to look at. Giants, Boys, and the Buffet. This is the one you're going to want to pick up because I know, I got the eye. They didn't hire me for this job to sell cookies. They hired me to sell art.
It's a giant eye.
Yeah.
Also, there's always one piece of artwork that makes LB excited, and today it is giants. minutes? Oh, but the gimbal cannot keep up with LB.
So though a lot of these other paintings here are flashy, they're bright, there's some really endearing elements to them. We know who these people are. I had to ask who these were because I didn't know who they were.
You know who Joseph Beuys was? Or Jean
No, not by the face. By the face, I'm saying.
Oh, by the face.
No, I knew who they were once he told me who they were.
Ah.
But the draftsmanship on this piece, the subtleness, the amount of layers, this orange that has yellow over the top with this bluish gray, this is the sleeper of the entire show right here. This painting right here, you buy this today for $1,000, I promise you I'll buy it back from you next year for $1,020. And you wait 10 years, maybe $2,000.
And 20?
I don't even know. I can't count that high. It's just going to go skyrocketing. Look at this drawing at Dubuffet. Great visionary, bringing folk art,
Art brut.
Art brut, really bringing that to the forefront, showing that people of all mental capacities and all walks of life are creative, and that it's just totally beautiful to see what people can make. Now, we've talked about this piece before, so we're going to kind of move on, but in my opinion, if you're not going to buy the one with me on it, because you can't, because it's already sold, this is where you're going to want to put your money on for investing. Now, if you have someone you like,
Let's see the whole thing.
like this guy over here, let's just say you're a big Johnny Cash fan. Like I know my friend Melissa is. Melissa's a big Johnny Cash fan. She's got a tattoo of his name right here on her arm.
Of this guy?
Of this guy. This is Johnny Cash.
Wow, look at that line. He walks that line.
This line right here.
Yep, walking it.
Once again, we get these beautiful collarbones. Rossco and the beautiful clavicle. That's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
This is just a great painting of Johnny Cash. I'm pretty surprised it hasn't sold yet. People seem to love it. The eyes are there. He's kind of got that droopy eyes, the sadness of Johnny Cash, the power. And then just these beautiful, beautiful color fields. Just the sparseness on this one with this. You can see the brush strokes where the brush is still just scraping through the paint. So that's just over some white. But then these yellow drips, this bright, bold red that just bursts across it. And like a lot of Rossco's works, there's squares in it. Here's a kind of an unfinished square, but you can see it there. These boxes, these layers that pop out, fade in.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, just great. Those red drips you're on right there, I just love those.
And these white drips. It's really a great example of Rossco investigating abstraction and at the same time using representational portraits.
Rossco actually showed up here about a half hour before the live stream. There was some confusion because I had said Rossco might be stopping by and I forgot I had said that. So I was real happy to see him, though I was real busy. And, I told him he could stick around, we could interview him. The first live stream we did of Rossco's work, he was here and we talked about his work. And so I thought it might be fun to do it without him here. I think we're doing a pretty good job. I'm sure we would have got some more insights with him here. But this just allows me to pontificate and explore the themes that run through my mind when I look at his artwork. And, we do love these comments. We do love you. And so you know what I'm going to do right here, Mary? You know what I'm going to do?
Show love.
I'm going to offer up right now a Super Andy print, a $30 2-foot by 2-foot poster.
Of this original image, but a poster.
This original image, this is Super Andy, and we're going to talk about Super Andy here in a sec. We're going to see if anybody knows who Andy is. Do you guys think this is Andy Kaufman?
Andy Richter?
Andy Ron?
Andy Ron, I think, is my guess.
Andy Brown? But if anybody today while you're watching this, you go to Venmo at Kirks Grocery and you leave us a donation. Any amount, doesn't matter. Or if you go to PayPal, Kirks Grocery at Gmail, and leave us a donation, any amount. Or if you go to our website, you purchase a t-shirt, a painting, anything that happens between now and midnight.
Absolutely anything that
Absolutely
happens.
anything that brings.
A little bit of cash money.
Yeah, that cheddar down to this sandwich.
I think Mark Cheddar should bring some cheddar to this sandwich too.
Yeah, Mark Cheddar needs to bring some cheddar to this sandwich. And
Emily Cheddar can bring it too. Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me some cheddar.
All
What do you think
right.
of that? So,
So
anyways,
now-
let's talk about Super Andy.
Yeah, Roscoe's wondering, is this Andy Gump?
I love this one. I love text and artwork. How many art shows do we have to have here at Kirks where I get to say, I love text and artwork? So if you're a budding artist out there on the scene and you're like, how can I get my work into Kirks Grocery? Well, one thing you can do is write on top of it like a teacher would. I just love text and artwork. There's something about it. It speaks to me. Oh.
It's very Batman to me. Old-timey Batman TV show, the pow, pow.
And you know, pop, when I see that pop, I mean, obviously we're going to blow it. No, did we have any Andy guesses besides Andy Gump?
I think we did all the guessing.
about that guy from
Andy
Andy?
Warhol. Jamie says hi, and she asks if it's me. It's me, Mary, Jamie. She says Andy Warhol with an
Jamie
exclamation point. Yep.
Good job, Jamie. We know you're there at
Drew
home.
Crawford said, I thought it might be Andy Gump based on Roscoe's comment.
Make sure y'all meet Drew Crawford. He's one of jewels of Billings internet culture. Really, he will make you laugh. He will make you think. So find something out about Drew Crawford. You'll be a better person for it. But let's get back to Super Andy and the wonderful paintings of Billings, Montana artist Rossco.
Is it just me who wants to say Roscoe P. Coltrane all the time? I'll only say it once.
just
I'm done
you.
saying it. Yes, and so back to
Look at this
Billings artist
incredible
Roscoe.
wig, one of Andy's signature wigs right here. Just solid and clean and so clear. I mean, I love Roscoe's work because you get these clear figures, these beautiful figures, this incredible work,
Yeah,
craftsmanship,
the clean edges.
and then these just backgrounds, dreamy backgrounds.
So textured.
It's like a Klondike bar up in here.
Warhol.
Mr. Warhol. Pittsburgh native?
Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh region boy. He's a Pennsylvanian. I definitely could say that. Andy Warhol, Pennsylvanian.
I think he was an illustrator for fashion magazines and
He understood graphic design for commercial purposes. Honors it.
foretold our love infatuation with real life and watching other people.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. With his movies like
Voyeurism.
Sleep. Even now, we don't really have any reality TV shows where we watch people sleep yet. So you had said that for anyone who makes a purchase or gives a donation to Kirks Grocery,
Even $1. We're going to give a print, a $30 print.
exactly. What
If
would you
live here
do
in
for a
Billings, I can
Klondike
deliver
bar?
it. I'll even mail it to you. We're going to open this up to anybody in the United States.
Anyone in the United States. I'm
Anywhere in
throwing
the
Canada
States.
in because I love Canadians
Well,
too.
you're paying shipping to Canada.
I'm paying shipping to Canada. It's a 2-foot by 2-foot print of this original. If you're chosen, only way to get in on this raffle is to purchase something or donate something. All right.
And make sure to always check up on kirksgrocery.com. We got a few more. This Friday, we have Ty Herman, local guitar great, performing. Oh, before we get too far, let's show the Super Andy Cup. I put the cups
Oh,
back.
yeah. Linda Lumiere has us on her TV right now, so let's get that up on the big screen. Super Andy mug.
Another $15 mug, Rossco on the back.
Yep, for these chilly evenings that have suddenly descended on the
This is
Billings
another
region.
design that we have a t-shirt on. You can check it on the website.
T-shirt, print, original art.
We're moving into this
Mug.
merch world.
It's the world
Can you
of Roscoe.
step back and just, before we see the last one, just kind of see the color combinations of the blues and the reds and
Yeah.
how nicely these three go together. Mary laid this show out, or mainly, And she put these 3 together on this wall, and they're just great.
And that color, that apricot marigold, golden yellow, that really is that direct thread between these 3. And then just the celebrity element. Johnny Cash. Andy Warhol.
And on our final one, we have, should we ask if we got any guesses?
Yeah.
Let's wait a second.
I work at the museum and we ask questions.
This is called...
Who do you see in this image?
Rossco. John don't like smoking tobacco.
John don't like smoking tobacco. That's the title.
So we're going to assume that because this looks like a tobacco cigarette, it's got a filter on it, that this isn't John. So maybe one of these. Oh, this probably isn't John because he's smoking.
Don't like.
Do we have any guesses on who these 3 people are?
John don't like smoking tobacco.
Ah, I love these drawings. Rossco
Same
is
treatment of the hair as Andy Warhol.
Rossco is just kind of constantly peaking. Every time he brings in new artwork, people are like, whoa! And it's just kind of like every time he just levels up. So we're really excited to see his next work. We heard he's even tightened up on the edges some more. So as he comes around the edges with this work here, it's even cleaner, which you probably can't even tell it's not clean. But
oh, so you mean the actual edge of the painting,
edges.
Not the edges of his drawing. Ooh, let's
she
turn.
wants to say
there's the
Keith
edge.
Richards. That's a good guess. It is a rock star.
Well, Keith Richards is a good guess for my friend on the right here.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for guessing.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Rindall. She is a realtor here in town, so if you are looking for a house in Billings, Montana, she can hook you up. Probably with the nicest house. You can tell her that the Billings Best Business, Kirks Grocery, sent you your way.
Sean Chandler has a guess.
Lou Reed.
Reed.
If Sean Chandler isn't just one of the greatest people out there, supporting Kirks for a year now, purchasing work by multiple artists, answering questions, interacting with us on our live streams, purchasing T-shirts,
Driving long
sweatshirts,
distances to visit Kirks, too.
and respecting the sovereignty of the quarantine. This is Lou Reed.
Sean Chandler's also guessing and David Bowie. Drew Crawford is saying Iggy.
No, we do have a painting of Iggy, but it's not out right now. This is Lou Reed, and this is John Cale, another member of the
Velvet Underground?
Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
And I guess at some point he was asked, and Lou said, he doesn't smoke tobacco, which leads one to believe that he smokes other things like
John
banana
doesn't.
peels.
So John doesn't smoke tobacco. Roscoe Martin is asking, are these the Three Stooges? So if that's John Cale and Lou Reed, and they're both part of the Velvet Underground.
Let's go up to this corner. Does anybody have any
Who's up in the
guesses on
corner?
this person? Because once I tell you, you're going to know who it is. Oh, Roscoe's so good at making you know who it is without giving it completely away.
And let's just also take a look at the great treatment of the blue hair, blue in the hair.
One of the most famous men in the world and an important historical American figure currently alive.
Anybody watching from Chicago, this is a famous Chicago figure, although not from Chicago originally.
All right, we're going to blow it. Oh, Flea. That is a great...
Oh, that's such a good guess.
That is a good guess.
Sean says, thanks for the kind words. You have the best gallery. Ah, this is not Flea, although I love the
Tell
guess
him,
of
Mary.
Flea. Nope, not Flea. This is Barack Obama, former president of the United States of America.
And I love it. You've seen this picture of Barack smoking.
Such a virtuous person, but the stress of being the leader of this nation can lead to smoking. Look how he renders this smoke itself.
Oh, yeah. And then it...
See, it's a little different over the white than it is over here.
I hadn't noticed that, Mary. And then it comes up into here.
It absolutely does kind of drift away like smoke would. But when you're looking at it this close, it's like you said, that line between what's abstract and what's representational.
Your mind's always on rock music.
Jamie's mind, always on rock music. We didn't see the political possibilities in this one.
Well, most of us want to just pay attention to rock music instead of politics. Okay, so this has been Rossco's Toxic Innocence. We're going to do just a couple more minutes of me blathering on. Let's come over here.
Catching up to the blather. Toxic Innocence.
And let's run through these awesome t-shirts we got recently.
Did you ever talk about Toxic Innocence, or will you talk about t-shirts first?
Toxic Innocence. The name of the show, Toxic Innocence. Not Toxic Innocence, but Innocence. What?
What? Wow. Okay.
Once again, let's look at this. What does this have that Rossco paintings normally have? It doesn't have any people. I love this. He made like a title plate for the show as a painting. This is $1,000. I love it. It puts it on level with everything else. Toxic Innocence. Once again, we've talked about his squares.
Squares. Text.
We don't know what these squares mean to him. We need to ask him that. Because we did talk about in that Basquiat painting his soft shapes. We do see these soft shapes over here on the Basquiat over here, which are a little different, more like the Campbell's Primordial. So maybe we'll see more soft shapes like this. But he really is into the box. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. Thanks for looking at artwork. Thanks for supporting Kirks. Means a lot to us.
We have a nice crowd tonight.
We have on the 25th will be our 2-year anniversary. We had all these incredible plans for you this year. It's also my 50th birthday that week, and we were going to do 50 bands in 24 hours. We were going to be open 24 hours. It was going to be amazing. But COVID times hit, and like so many other things, we've had to just switch around. I don't think we're going to be doing much for our 2-year anniversary. One of the ideas I'm thinking about is you come down, you see me, I give you a $2 bill. So if you like that idea, if you think that's a good idea, something I should do, I want to show Billings that we do appreciate your support. Every dollar has kept us alive. We plan on doing bigger and better shows. With Rossco, that has just been seen, that we have seen his work grow fantastically in 2 years. The leaps and bounds you can accomplish, I feel, if, speaking about myself as a gallerist, if someone just kind of believes in you. I know Rossco's been making work forever. I don't have anything to do with this practice, but I feel by showing his artwork, by making that connection with me, and then by his artwork actually touching people in the community, touching people in California. We've sold pieces to Massachusetts. We've shipped them there. I've driven them down to California. They're starting to get around the U.S. It's just amazing that you would support us like that, and Rossco. So make sure to support us tonight, and you are in the drawing for a Rossco print. Or come down and get them. I'm going to show you some t-shirts we have, and we're going to leave you with that.
Right before those t-shirts, Rossco asked, where is the artist statement? Is there an artist statement?
Sorry, Rossco.
There is an artist statement. And Shane doesn't realize it, but we're all looking at it together. Here's Rossco's artist statement that he created, I believe, specifically for this show.
Oh yeah, I kept asking him for a bio, for an artist statement, you know, the kind of things your gallerist would want. And he kept getting it to me, and this is what he showed up with, which is great, which is fear no art, like he said, 3 words.
Yeah, and most artists know that it can be a little much writing artist statements. And then
Jade's on here. Hey, Jade.
Jade just
another
said,
great
love
local
the commentary.
celebrity who also is
Local representative.
Yeah. She's working in the government as well as a painter. Love seeing her work. She's just a great person, actually.
Whoa, let's
go through.
Let's have our friend the Gimbal join us. Hey, Gimbal, why don't you come over here? There it is. There it is.
We're just gonna go through these t-shirts. I know you've seen the images, but let's show you what we got. We put a lot of money into getting these printed. They are kind of expensive. $28 if you come to Kirks, or $36 PPD. You can buy them at kirksgrocery.com. We have them in size small to size XXL.
Why don't you hold them up just a little higher?
In black
there we go.
And in white. And I'm just gonna
There's one Rossco t-shirt. Oh, there's another, also in black.
Let me hang this one over here. I'm going to show you all the black ones. This is obviously, remember Michael Stewart,
Right there.
artist, murdered by policemen.
1985.
Giants. Great shirt on black. Great print.
Have you ever wanted boys and Dubuffet on your chest? Now's your chance.
That's like a tagline for a porno movie.
Yeah, I was thinking you would pick up on that.
Super Andy on black. These are, I think these are 50-50.
50 cotton, 50 poly.
50-50. Yep. And then we just have them in white as well. Remember Michael Stewart. Make sure to pick these up. I can't stress enough that every purchase doesn't just support Kirks Grocery. It just gives an artist a great feeling, and it pushes them to make more art. And we'll leave it at that. Next Tuesday, we're going to be back here, and we're going to we'll be going through the back galleries, which we have a group show going on, our summer group show, which has Becca DeMeyer from here in Portland, Oregon, May Starr, singer for Rollerball out in Portland, Oregon, kind of a rock star in her own right. There's also work by Sarah Wright, a local artist. And then Matthew O'Brien,
Yes.
Lexi Castro, who I believe is maybe a 14-year-old, the daughter of Mandy Castro. She's got some artwork here. We're going to look at that next week.
LB's excited about that show.
We got work by Sunny Stone Ballou, local favorite, great artist kid. We have work by Casey Heavy Runner.
Oh,
And-
that's right. That's brand new. We haven't had work by Casey Heavy Runner before.
Yeah, Casey Heavy Runner. He came in here and just introduced himself to me, showed me his work. We got his work on the wall. And as well as a couple pieces from Mary that are up right now. We have a new show coming up. It's called Seeing Patterns. It's going to be opening October 2nd, but this is still up for a month, so make sure to come down to Kirks. Come down, support us. We really need it. We love you guys. Let's look at the rest of these t-shirts, because I got not only
T-shirt
these
fashion
Rossco
show.
paintings, Super Andy on white. Let's look at this. This is another shirt we got a few weeks ago.
Oh, this isn't Rossco.
This is not Rossco, but it's a great shirt, and we're talking about t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
This is a Gordon McConnell,
Yeah.
C'era una volta il West, which is Once Upon a Time in the West, painting by Gordon McConnell. We did these on 100% cotton shirts. Nice kind of sandy tan color.
Dusty desert.
Dusty desert. The Truel, Lee Van Cleef.
Some of you may remember seeing this piece up at Kirks. Now
This
you can own
this
it
piece
on
is
a
actually
t-shirt.
still for sale. Here,
Oh,
we
it
have
is?
the original here. I can't believe it hasn't sold. We do have some Gordon McConnell still. He's on the cover of the Big Sky Journal this month. You can read about Gordon McConnell, permanent collection at the Artist. And let's just look at this last shirt. I don't know if we've seen it yet.
All right, hold
Kind
on.
of dark.
Hold on. Gimbal and I are going to bring it to you. Just takes us a second.
This is a shirt by local artist Josh Paulson. Local great.
So it's dark gray.
Dark on dark. It's
on-
black on charcoal. There's a poem he wrote on the back. This is from our artist series, where we're going to start putting out t-shirts by artists. We have all sorts of great ideas we want to do here with Billings. We like to stay active politically. We like to stay active artistically. And we are here. So make sure to keep in contact with us. Check us out online, Instagram, Facebook are our favorites. AlwaysKirksGrocery.com. Go through our YouTube channel where you can go back when we used to have live music. You can watch bands like Nyat or Alex Nauman, David Banuelos, all sorts of stuff. So just get on the internet, waste some hours, and look at all the art Kirk has brought into your life in the last 2 years. And if you want to purchase any of these paintings by Rossco, I would love to sell them to you. I'd love to bring them to your house. And if you want the prints, t-shirts, cups, whatever, we got them. We love you, Billings. Thanks so much to Mary Serbe for her wonderful camera work,
Woo!
for always putting up with me and for helping Kirks grow. We couldn't do it without her. We couldn't do it without you. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next Tuesday when we go through the summer group show in the back galleries.
All right. See you next Tuesday, everybody. We are going to feed LB dinner. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.